After 70 years of living, loving, giving, and growing, you've reached a chapter that many never get to, a chapter that doesn't ask you to do more. It gently invites you to feel more. This is not the season of striving. It is the season of releasing. You have spent decades showing up for others, your family, your community, your responsibilities. Now the question is simple. What if you showed up fully for yourself? What if peace, joy, and freedom are not things you need to chase, but things waiting quietly underneath the clutter? Not just in your home, but in your mind, in your heart, and in the beliefs you have carried for far too long. In this episode of Wise Elders Insight, we are going to explore 8 powerful things that women over 70 can let go of gently, lovingly, to make room for a life that feels lighter, more peaceful, and deeply fulfilling. Letting go does not mean losing. It means choosing. Choosing yourself, choosing ease, choosing joy. And if you're wondering whether it's too late to live life on your own terms, let me gently remind you, this is exactly the time. Let's begin. 1. Let go of the clutter that closes in. You have spent a lifetime collecting beautiful things, not just furniture or decorations, but pieces of your story. Photo albums, letters from long ago, souvenirs from trips, gifts from loved ones. Every shelf in your home may hold something that reminds you of who you have been, what you have seen, and whom you have loved. That is a beautiful truth. But there comes a moment in life, often after the age of 70, when we must gently ask ourselves, do all of these things still serve me, or are they simply weighing me down? Clutter does not begin as a burden, it begins as something we treasure. But as the years pass, it builds quietly and without permission. Drawers become full, closets overflow, and attics and basements turn into storage spaces for the life you used to live. You may walk into a room and feel tired, not from what you did that day, but from what surrounds you. This is not about mess. It is about mental weight, emotional clutter. Letting go of physical things is not about forgetting. It is not about being careless or ungrateful. It is about choosing peace over pressure, simplicity over stress. It is about making your home reflect the person you are now, not just the woman you were 30 years ago. You're allowed to outgrow your surroundings. You're allowed to create a space that feels light, open, and nourishing. Begin with one small area, one drawer, one box, one shelf. As you go through each item, do not rush. Pick it up, feel it, and ask yourself, is this something I still need? Is it something I still want? Or is it something I am afraid to release? That fear is natural, but beyond it lies freedom. When you release what no longer serves you, you make space, not just in your home, but in your spirit. And remember this, many of the items you no longer need could become blessings in someone else's life. The warm blanket, the extra dishes, the old radio that still works, these things can bring comfort to someone who has little. Donating is not throwing away. It is passing on love in a new direction. In this stage of life, less is not emptiness. It is peace. It is room to breathe, space to think clearly, and live fully. You have earned that peace. Let your home reflect it. 2. Release the relationships that drain you. You have been many things to many people: a mother, a sister, a wife, a friend, a helper, a peacemaker. You have listened when no one listened to you. You have shown up even when you were tired, even when your heart was heavy. You have done the emotional labor for others more times than you can count. And while there is beauty in that love and sacrifice, there is also something we must name honestly. Not everyone in your life deserves to keep walking with you into this next chapter. Relationships are not just about history. They are about health, emotional health. At this stage in your life, the question is no longer, how do I keep everyone happy? But rather, does this connection bring me peace? Does this person truly see and value who I am? Some people in your life lift you up with just a phone call. They make you feel warm, whole, and heard. and others leave you feeling tired, unseen, or even small. They may never say anything directly cruel, but the pattern is there. One-sided conversations, constant criticism, emotional guilt, or simply neglect. Letting go of draining relationships does not mean you are angry or unkind. It means you are finally protecting your peace. It means you understand that your emotional energy is sacred. It means you are no longer willing to trade your well-being for someone else's comfort. This is not about cutting people off harshly. It may be about spending less time with those who drain you. It may be about keeping certain conversations surface level. It may mean declining invitations not out of spite, but out of self-respect. Sometimes it may even mean loving someone from a distance. You can care about someone deeply and still recognize that their presence in your life no longer feels safe or supportive. That is not failure, that is wisdom. You deserve a circle of people who celebrate you, who uplift your spirit, who make you feel safe and soft and strong all at once. People who ask how you are doing, not just when they need something, but because they genuinely care. People who listen as much as they speak. People who love you as you are, not as who they expect you to be. At 70 and beyond, your time is gold. Your energy is sacred. Spend it where you are valued. Let go of relationships that hurt and open the door for new ones or deeper ones to bloom. Because real love should never leave you feeling less than whole. 3. Release the responsibilities that no longer belong to you. There is a quiet truth many women carry into their later years, the belief that their worth is still tied to how much they do for others, that if they are not cooking, organizing, helping, reminding, or managing something or someone, then they are not needed. But after decades of caretaking, service, and sacrifice, you have more than earned the right to ask a simple but powerful question. What responsibilities in my life no longer belong to me? You may still be the one your family calls when there is a problem to solve. You may still feel the need to host every holiday, keep the house in perfect order, or take care of others before you take care of yourself. And perhaps you tell yourself, this is just who I am. This is what I do. But is it still what you want? Does it still bring you joy? Or has it become a quiet weight? There is a difference between being helpful and being overburdened, between being generous and being taken for granted. Maybe you are still maintaining a large home that now feels more like a list of chores than a place of comfort. Maybe you are still running errands for people who could help themselves, saying yes out of habit, not desire. It is not selfish to set that burden down. It is healthy. You have spent your life carrying others. Now is the time to carry yourself with lightness and intention. Ask yourself, if I let go of this task, this duty, or this expectation, what would happen? If the answer is simply that you would feel more peace, that is reason enough. Let go of the idea that everything depends on you. Let your grown children cook the meal. Let someone else organize the family gathering. Let the garden grow a little wild. The world will not fall apart. In fact, it might even grow stronger because others will learn to step up. You're not abandoning anyone. You're trusting that life does not need to be micromanaged. You're not letting go of love. You're letting go of over-functioning. Your golden years are not meant to be one long to-do list. They are meant to be a deep breath, a time to rest, to savor, and to simply be. 4. Let go of regrets and the voice that says you are not enough. By now, your life has seen joy and loss, courage and fear, success and failure. You have done your best. And yet, if you are like many women, there may still be a quiet voice inside you that says, I should have done more, or I made too many mistakes. That voice may whisper reminders of moments you cannot go back and fix, words you wish you had said, choices you wish you had made differently. This is regret. It is one of the heaviest things a heart can carry, but it is also one of the most unnecessary weights we hold, because regret cannot rewrite the past. It can only rob you of the present. What would happen if you forgave yourself? Not just for the big things, but for the small, silent things too, for the times you stayed too long, for the things you missed, for the dreams you did not pursue. Would you tell your younger self she was doing the best she could? Then tell yourself that now. You're not defined by what you wish you had done. You're defined by what you did and by the woman you became because of it. Every experience gave you wisdom. Every stumble taught you something. Every closed door led you to a different room, a different version of your life, one that is still worthy, still full of beauty. And let us speak about the harsh voice inside your mind, the one that tells you you are not thin enough, smart enough, strong enough, patient enough. Would you speak that way to your daughter, to your best friend? Then please stop speaking that way to yourself. You have been through enough. You do not need to earn your worth. You already have it. You do not need to prove yourself. You already have. Speak gently to yourself. Let go of regret. Choose words that reflect the kindness you offer to everyone else. Letting go of regret and harsh self-talk is not about pretending you never struggled. It is about honoring that you survived. It is about choosing softness where there used to be shame. It is about opening the door to joy because you finally believe you deserve it. From this day forward, let your inner voice be one of compassion. When you look back, do it with grace. When you speak to yourself, speak with love. You are still here, and that alone is a miracle worth celebrating. 5. Let go of the habits that quietly steal your joy. There are habits we pick up early in life because they help us survive. We learn to push through exhaustion, skip meals because there is no time, keep our feelings to ourselves, put everyone else first. And over the years, those patterns become so familiar that we forget they were never meant to last a lifetime. After 70, your body begins to ask for more gentleness, more rest, more nourishment. It speaks to you in subtle ways: a tight muscle, a foggy mind, a restless night. These are not failures, they are messages. They are invitations to pay attention, to slow down, and to care for yourself in ways you may never have before. Unhealthy habits are not always dramatic. They often look like small daily choices: skipping breakfast, drinking too much coffee but not enough water, watching too much negative news, saying yes when you want to say no, sitting all day because moving feels uncomfortable, avoiding your doctor because you're afraid of what they might say. These patterns add up, and over time they begin to shape how you feel, not just in your body, but in your spirit. You may feel tired and not know why. You may feel lonely even when people are around. You may feel disconnected from the joy you once had. But the good news is this: change is always possible, even now, especially now. You do not need a full makeover. You do not need a strict routine. What you need is a gentle return to care, a reminder that your health matters, that your needs matter. Start small. Drink a glass of water when you wake up. Step outside and breathe deeply. Turn off the television if the news leaves you feeling anxious. Move your body, even just a little bit, every day. Your health is not just about avoiding illness. It is about creating a life that feels good to live, one filled with energy, clarity, and calm. You deserve to feel good, not because you worked hard, not because you earned it, but because you are alive. And being alive is reason enough to care for yourself. Let go of the habits that slowly wear you down. Replace them with moments that lift you up. You're not too old to change. You're wise enough to choose better, softer, more loving ways of being. Starting now. 6. Let go of the beliefs that keep you small. Throughout your life, you were likely taught many things about what it means to be a woman, to grow older, to age. Some of those beliefs gave you strength, but others built invisible walls around your spirit. They taught you to stay quiet, to avoid conflict, to make yourself small so others could feel big, to believe that once you reached a certain age, life was about decline, not discovery. These beliefs are not facts. They are old stories, and you have the right to stop repeating them. Maybe you were told that asking for help is weakness, but the truth is, Asking for help is one of the greatest forms of wisdom. It means you understand your worth. Maybe you were told that aging means becoming less relevant, but in reality, you are more experienced, more grounded, and more needed than ever. Maybe you believed you had to put everyone else's needs ahead of your own because that is what good women do, but now you have permission to put yourself first. Letting go of outdated beliefs does not mean forgetting where you came from. It means honoring how far you have come. It means saying to yourself, I do not need to live by rules that were built for someone else's comfort. It means writing new beliefs that reflect the truth of your life. Now you're not too old to learn something new. You're not too old to start a new hobby, build new friendships, or explore new ways of thinking. Growth does not stop with age, it deepens. It becomes more meaningful. You are not finished, you are becoming. What beliefs have held you back? What quiet rules have you followed without question? What if you let them go? What might open up in your life? What joy have you been telling yourself you are too late for? You're not late. You're right on time. Let go of the old stories that shrink you. Embrace the truth that you are powerful, capable, curious, and free. Your age does not limit your light. It magnifies it. The most beautiful chapters of your life may still be ahead, but only if you believe they are possible. 7. Let go of financial worries that no longer serve you. You've spent much of your life thinking carefully about money, saving for the future, budgeting for your family, and stretching every dollar to make sure others had what they needed. Maybe you went without so your children could have more. Maybe you passed up vacations, new clothes, or hobbies because something else always felt more urgent. And now here you are, in your 70s or beyond, still carrying those old habits of worry. But here is the truth. Many of those financial fears no longer serve you. It is one thing to be responsible. It is another to live in quiet fear, always waiting for the next crisis, even when you have already prepared for it. That voice inside you that says, what if I run out of money? Or, what if I become a burden? May not reflect your current reality. It may simply be a habit, an old form of stress that followed you from the past. You planned, you sacrificed, you saved. And if you are financially secure today, it is time to allow yourself something you have given to others so freely. Comfort. You do not have to apologize for buying something that makes your life easier. You do not have to feel guilty for enjoying a good meal out, buying a new chair that supports your back, or signing up for a class you have always wanted to take. That is not being careless. That is honoring the life you worked so hard to build. You're not being selfish when you use your money to bring joy into your life. That joy is the return on decades of hard work. You did not save just to keep saving. You saved so that one day you could live with freedom and peace. That day has come. If financial worry still lingers, consider talking with a trusted financial advisor or someone you know who understands money. Sometimes just seeing the numbers clearly can ease the fear in your mind. You do not need to carry the weight of what if anymore. You can replace fear with clarity. And from clarity, confidence is born. Let go of the guilt around spending. Let go of the fear of not having enough. You have done enough. Now let your money serve you, not the other way around. 8. Let go of the fear of change. There is something comforting about routine, about knowing what to expect, about waking up each morning and being surrounded by the familiar. That comfort is real. It brings stability, but sometimes it also brings fear, fear of losing what is known, fear of what might happen if something changes. And as we grow older, that fear can become stronger, even when change might lead to something better. Maybe you are considering downsizing your home, but feel overwhelmed by the process. Maybe your neighborhood has changed, or your body has changed, or your friendships have changed, and it all feels like too much. Maybe you are hesitant to try something new technology, a new community group, even a new hairstyle, because the unknown feels unsafe. But here is something gentle and powerful to remember. Change is not your enemy. It is a door. Yes, change can be uncomfortable. Yes, it can bring sadness or nostalgia. But it can also bring peace, opportunity, and joy you never expected. The fear of change often comes from the belief that we will lose something important. But what if instead we gained something essential? What if change is what brings you closer to the life you were always meant to live? Think of how many changes you have already faced. You have adapted through loss, illness, relocation, retirement, and grief. And still, here you are. That is proof of your strength. You do not fear change because you are weak. You fear it because you are wise. But wisdom also knows when to say, I am ready. Let go of the belief that everything must stay the same to feel safe. Let go of the voice that says, I cannot do that, or it is too late for me. It is not too late. It is right on time. Trying something new at 70 or 80 is not unusual. It is courageous. It is inspiring. Change does not mean chaos. It can be as simple as shifting how you spend your mornings, choosing a different path when you walk, saying yes to a new invitation, or finally giving yourself permission to say no. You're not too old for new beginnings. You're perfectly seasoned for them. You have lived through enough endings to understand that every change is a chance to come home to yourself in a new way. Let go of the fear. Embrace the curiosity. There is still so much life ahead, and it is waiting for you to open the door. Let this be your time. You have walked through so many seasons of life. You have raised children, buried loved ones, made sacrifices, celebrated victories, and carried the quiet weight of responsibility for decades. You have been strong for others more times than anyone knows. And now, right now, this is your time. Not to prove anything, not to fix anyone, but to come home to yourself. To gently lay down what no longer belongs to you and to pick up what has always been waiting: peace, joy, clarity, and rest. Conclusion. Letting go is not about loss. It is about making space. When you let go of clutter, you make room for calm. When you let go of toxic relationships, you make room for love that lifts you. When you release regrets and harsh self-talk, you make space for self-compassion. When you stop fearing change, you open yourself to all that life still has to offer. And life does still have, so let go of the fear. Embrace the curiosity. There is still so much life ahead, and it is waiting for you to open the door. Let this be your time. You have walked through so many seasons of life. You have raised children, buried loved ones, made sacrifices, celebrated victories, and carried the quiet weight of responsibility for decades. You have been strong for others more times than anyone knows. And now, right now, this is your time. Not to prove anything, not to fix anyone, but to come home to yourself. To gently lay down what no longer belongs to you and to pick up what has always been waiting: peace, joy, clarity, and rest. Conclusion. Letting go is not about loss. It is about making space. When you let go of clutter, you make room for calm. When you let go of toxic relationships, you make room for love that lifts you. When you release regrets and harsh self-talk, you make space for self-compassion. When you stop fearing change, you open yourself to all that life still has to offer. And life does still have so much to offer. There are sunrises you have not yet watched, conversations you have not yet had, books you have not yet read, laughter that has not yet risen from your chest. There is still time, still beauty, still purpose. You are not defined by what you let go of. You are defined by what you choose to keep and what you allow to grow. You're allowed to say, this is no longer mine to carry. You are allowed to say, I choose ease over expectation. You're allowed to say, I'm enough just as I am. Let this be the chapter where you no longer chase anyone's approval. Let it be the chapter where your days feel lighter, your decisions feel clearer, and your heart feels more at peace. You have earned the right to live gently, to live freely, to live with joy that is not rushed or forced, but honest, quiet, and steady. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope these words helped you feel seen, heard, and supported. If they did, I would love to hear from you. Share with me in your own words what you are ready to release and what you are ready to welcome. You are not alone.